All right, in this video, we're gonna be going over how to properly back up your preferences, presets, MOGRTs, keyboard shortcuts, everything inside of Premiere Pro so that you can set up everything on a brand new machine or just have a backup in case your hard drive corrupts or something goes wrong with any of your Premiere Pro preferences. Because if you're anything like me, losing all of your customization that you have set up in Premiere would cost you quite a bit of time setting it back up again, and it's not something that any of us wanna do. So let's dive right in and show you how to do this. All right, so I'm on a Mac, but if you're on Windows, I will leave all of the file paths for you to find everything that I'm looking at on a Mac. But if you are a Mac user, you can just follow along with everything that I'm doing on screen. All right, so on a Mac, you're going to navigate to Documents and then Adobe, Premiere Pro, and then you're probably going to see a lot of different version numbers here if you haven't cleared this in a while, but you're just looking for the highest version number that you have available because that's probably the version of Premiere that you're currently working in. So in my case, that's gonna be 14.0, and then you will possibly see two folders here. There is Profile Creative Cloud, and then there's Profile, the username of your computer. If you are someone who uses the Creative Cloud sync feature inside of Premiere Pro, then everything is going to be stored inside of here for you. If you don't use this feature, well, then you probably just don't have this folder. The only reason I have it is because I was running some tests before this video. But otherwise, everything will just be stored inside of here. If you're really not sure which is the most up-to-date version, I would recommend just copying both of these folders and saving both of them so that way you can figure out later which one is the most recent version of all your stuff. In my case though, it's going to be this folder right here, so that's what we're gonna be working with. There are only 3 folders in here that you need to take note of. That is Layouts, Mac, and Settings. This presets folder here is a custom preset folder that I made, and we'll get into this folder later. So the Layouts folder is where all of your user workspaces are saved. So you're definitely going to want to copy this over. And then inside of Mac, if you have created a custom keyboard shortcut file, then it's going to be saved inside of here. And anytime you're going to import custom keyboard shortcuts on a new machine, this is the folder that you need to put it inside of. And then finally, we have this Settings folder right here. And a lot of people probably don't have any adjustments in here, but in case you do, Custom is for any of your custom preset timelines that you've made. Right here, I have one for Instagram stories, so that way I don't have to manually type in the resolution and size all the time. I have some custom track height presets, as well as my ingest presets that I use for my proxies. So if you are confident you have customized nothing in here, then you don't need the folder. But for many of us, you probably have made a couple changes and you're gonna wanna copy this over. So in my case, I'm just going to copy the Settings, Mac, and Layouts folder over to my USB drive right over here. Gonna drag that over. And again, if you wanna be really safe, you could just drag this entire Profile Christopher Olson folder, or it's gonna be Profile, whatever your username is, and just save that so you have everything inside of it just in case. But again, these are the only 3 folders that you need inside of here. All right, so next up, we're gonna be talking about how to back up your MOGRTs. If you haven't watched my how to import, use, and organize MOGRTs video, I would highly recommend you go and watch that because that shows you how you should properly manage your MOGRTs and it makes your life a whole lot easier. If you've already followed that video, then you probably know exactly where your MOGRTs are stored. If you have absolutely no idea where your MOGRTs are stored, I will leave the file path on screen as well as in the description for Windows users. And if you're a Mac user, I will show you exactly how to navigate there as well. So for Mac users, you can go to Finder and hit Command-Shift-G. And that should pop up this box right here. And you can copy the file path that I've left in the description for you and paste it inside of here. And that's going to take you directly to your MOGRTs folder. So once you get here, go ahead and just save any MOGRTs that you want or you feel are relevant to you. I don't personally need to copy any of mine because I have all of them saved in different folders that are much more organized than this. But if you haven't done that yourself, this is where Premiere is storing all of your MOGRTs right now. So go ahead and copy all of those. All right, so now that we've done MOGRTs, we're gonna hop inside of Premiere and we're gonna show you how to export your custom presets if you have made any. You can come up to your Effects tab and then go to Presets. And then right here, you'll see I have a bunch of different presets, as well as different folders that I've created for my own custom presets. So all you have to do is if you wanted to export all of these presets right here that have no folders inside of them, you could just right-click Presets, Export Presets, name it, and then tell it where to export, and you'll be good to go. You can also export them individually. So if I wanted to take this Warp Stabilizer 15%, I could do Export Presets, name this Warp Stabilizer 15%, and I would be good to go. But in the case of me moving everything around, I want to just do everything at once. So I'm gonna take all of these, export presets, and name them Chris Olson presets. Save that to my USB drive. And then you can do this for the rest of the presets that you feel like you need to export and you want on your new machine. And next we've got our Premiere Pro preferences. So if we hop in here, that's everything inside of this list, which if you've made any changes here, you definitely want these backed up. We're gonna talk about two different methods for this. First of all, I would recommend just taking screenshots of all of these and then labeling those screenshots whatever the tab was called. So if I took a screenshot right here of the general tab, I would then go name that file general. I would take a screenshot of appearance, audio, and so on. And then you can have a folder of all of those and you know exactly what each one was for. And the reason I recommend doing this is in case something ever gets messed up with your preferences inside of Premiere with the other method we're about to talk about, you have these screenshots that you can fall back on. So I would highly recommend that you have these screenshots because I think it's just safer overall. So now the other way that you can do this is come up to Premiere Pro, your username, and then you're going to have these sync settings. Come to Manage Sync Settings, and you can choose all of the stuff that you want to upload here. You have your preferences and settings, workspace layouts, and keyboard shortcuts. We've already manually backed up our workspace layouts and keyboard shortcuts, and I highly recommend that you manually back those up because while this syncing tool does work great for transferring settings between machines, I would never trust it as a backup. So make sure you still have a backup of those. And then you have this option for when syncing, always upload settings, ask my preference, or always download settings. So you can have a machine that always uploads settings when it syncs to the cloud, and then you can have your secondary machine always be the one that downloads. I primarily work on this desktop, so I only want this to upload because this is my main workstation. My laptop, I would not want it to upload those settings and then sync those to my desktop. I only want to download on my laptop. So you can have it set to always ask or always upload. I'm gonna choose always upload. And from here, I'm gonna leave keyboard shortcuts and workspace layouts unchecked because I don't need those. Gonna go ahead and click OK. Then you could come back and go ahead and click Sync Settings Now. And then this is going to upload all of your settings into the cloud. All right, now that that's done, we only have one thing left to work on, and that is your custom export settings. So if we come back to Finder and go back to Documents, then Adobe, you're gonna go to Adobe Media Encoder, the latest version of Media Encoder, and then you're gonna look for presets. And this is going to have all of your presets for your exports stored inside of here. So I would definitely recommend backing these up. Now you should have all of your files that you need backed up for Premiere. So in the case of an emergency, you still have all your files and you didn't lose anything. So let's quickly go over what we have here again. We've got our custom presets that we exported, which are both of these. We have layouts, which are our user workspaces. Inside of Mac is our custom keyboard shortcuts. Motion graphics templates, these are all of the motion graphics templates that I have and I want to bring over to my new machine. We have presets, these were the presets inside of Adobe Media Encoder. And then settings, these were things like our custom timelines, track height presets, and so on. And then for our actual preferences panel inside of Premiere, we took screenshots and we uploaded it to the cloud, which we will then download on our new machine. So now we're gonna hop over to my laptop and I'll show you what to do from there. All right, so now we're on my laptop and this is the first time I'm opening Premiere Pro on here. This is a brand new, completely fresh install. And the first thing you're gonna wanna do is open it up to the launch screen and then come up to Premiere Pro, Sync Settings, and then Sync Settings Now. And then once that's finished, all of your preferences are synced over. So now let's show you how to manually bring back all the other files that we copied. So again, once you're in your documents, you're gonna go to Adobe Premiere Pro 14.0 or whatever version you're on. And since you just used the Creative Cloud to sync those files over to this machine, you're going to use Profile Creative Cloud. And then from here, you'll see we have Layouts, Mac, and Settings. So what I'm gonna do is delete Layouts, Mac, and Settings. And then on that drive that I have, I'm going to bring over Layouts, Mac, and Settings into here. And now we've copied all of those over. And I'm also going to create a folder called Presets. And this is where we're going to store our presets that we exported from Premiere Pro. This is not something that Premiere manages for you. This is something you need to manage yourself. So presets, and then we're gonna drag those presets inside of there. And then for motion graphics templates, Again, if you watch the how to import and use and organize MOGRTs video, you'll have a better idea of how you want to organize these. But for the sake of keeping everything easy right now, I'm just gonna drag this motion graphics template folder into this Creative Cloud folder because this is kind of where everything gets managed for Premiere Pro. Normally I would store my MOGRTs in the cloud, but you can watch that video to find out more about that. And then from here, we've copied over everything that we need into Premiere Pro. So I'm gonna go ahead and quit Premiere Pro, and then we're gonna go ahead and relaunch it and see if everything came over just fine. All right, so now that we're inside of Premiere Pro, the first thing I'm gonna check is to see if my workspaces are in here. So I'm gonna go up to Window, Workspaces, and they all are. These are all custom workspaces that I've made on my desktop, and they all came over to here just fine. Now the next thing we're gonna go ahead and check is Premiere Pro keyboard shortcuts. And it is using my macOS keyboard shortcuts file that I normally use. And now looking at my labels, these are a lot of custom labels that I've made myself, so I know that my preferences have come over as well. So pretty much the only thing you have left to do from here is bring in your presets that you've made. So I'm gonna go ahead and twirl this down and then right click on it and import presets. And then from here, I'm gonna navigate to Documents, Adobe, Premiere Pro 14.0, Creative Cloud, and then go to our presets folder that we made. And then I can click on the Chris Olson presets to bring that in. And then you can see it's going to load all of my presets. Now, one thing to be aware of that I did notice is I had Real Smart Motion Blur plugin installed on my desktop, but it is not installed on my laptop yet. None of those presets that I made for that plugin came in with this import. And my guess is that's because the plugin isn't installed on here. So if you have made presets that involve specific plugins, make sure those are installed on the system before you import these in. Otherwise, maybe you just can't export those. I'm not 100% positive. Something you're definitely gonna wanna double check. So that's how to bring in your presets. And then as far as the MOGRTs go, you can go ahead and watch that one video just so you can have your MOGRTs properly set up and get everything going. Now, the only thing left you have to do is bring in your Adobe Media Encoder presets for your export presets. So navigate to Documents, Adobe Media Encoder 14.0. You'll see this presets folder. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete it and then just bring in my presets folder right here. And now when you go ahead and relaunch Premiere Pro, you should have your custom export settings inside of Premiere. So there you guys go. That is how you back up all of your Premiere Pro preferences as well as set it up on a new machine. Now, what I like to do is I like to store all of my preferences up in the cloud so that I always have access to them, whether I go to someone's machine and I need all my stuff like my keyboard shortcuts or my presets, I have access to them in the cloud. I also have a flash drive that I carry around with me inside of my camera bag that I store all of those settings on as well. That way, no matter what, there is no way I am losing my preferences. No matter where I go, I always have them. If something happens to my main machine, I've got a backup of those preferences. So there you guys go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.